Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're the sentimental type. I am, because tonight we should get a...
Are you?
I think I am. I'd like to think of myself that way.
Okay.
I might not show it all the time, but I like to think of myself that way.
I'll be the judge of that.
I might not show it as often as I should. But that's the way I like to think of myself. We should get a sweet moment, a sentimental moment in the NBA tonight between Klay Thompson and his old franchise, the Golden State Warriors. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. Roy Hibbert is my colleague at CBS Sports. But before that, before he was talking on television, he was an NBA All-Star with the Indiana Pacers, college All-American. Had a video he published last week on YouTube breaking down Grizz rookie Zach Edey. About 11 minutes. It was terrific. I asked Roy Hibbert if he'd come on the Gary Parrish Show and break down Zach Edey some more. He said he would. So he's going to be here in about 20 minutes. When I finish talking to Roy, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the Memphis Hustle played their home opener last night down in South Haven. Former Memphis Tiger standout David Jones was in town as a member of Mexico City. Commercial Appeals' Jason Munz talked to him. Interesting comments about Penny Hardaway. I'll tell you what he said. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. The Dolphins went to Inglewood last night and beat the Rams 23-15. I told you I spotted funny business.
You called that.
I told you I spotted funny business.
Yeah.
I told you I spotted. I know funny business when I see it.
I have blinders.
We'll talk Monday Night Football in just a bit. Denzel Washington has said he's going to retire from acting after his next batch of films. I'll get Bennett's thoughts on that in the third segment. Syracuse football coach, a fellow named Fran Brown, he has acknowledged that he does not shower after losses. Needless to say, I will not co-sign this approach. I'll tell you exactly what the football coach said. We'll do that a little later on in the show. And Michael Strahan continues to face criticism for not putting his hand over his heart during the national anthem
good God.
this weekend. People are fired up.
Yeah.
They say he's unpatriotic. It's a strange controversy. I'll tell you more about it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the NBA because tonight should be a cool night in the NBA, specifically in San Francisco. Mavericks at Warriors inside the Chase Center. It's going to represent Klay Thompson's return to Golden State for the first time as a visitor after 13 years as a member of the franchise that he helped win 4 NBA championships. Big Bet Bennett, I know you hate the Warriors. I know that about you. But a Splash Brother is coming home tonight. You can appreciate that, can't you? You can find something somewhere in your heart to appreciate that, can't you?
I mean, listen, I'll watch for the moment.
Splash Brothers coming home.
You know how I'm not a fan. Okay, I'm just not a fan. All right, I'm just not.
But he was a Splash Brother.
I don't care.
And now he's coming home.
Like when you talk about like guys around the league that I'm not a fan of, he would be right there at the top of the list. So I'm sorry. It just goes back a long way. There's obviously the Jaren thing during the playoffs that pissed me off. And
I understand. But he was a brother. There was.
I got it.
There was a couple of splashes, and they were brothers, and we called them Splash Brothers.
Yeah. And it does.
One of them's coming home.
Him not being on that team, I think, takes away a lot between that rivalry between them and the Grizzlies. He was like one of the biggest parts of that.
Well,
because he was the one that Draymond, there's still respect between Draymond and like Draymond's the one that gets all like the notoriety for that rivalry. Klay was a big part of that, like a big part of that.
Well, in fairness to Klay, can I be fair to Klay?
Yeah.
He's a Splash Brother. He's coming home. I think he took offense as a 4-time world champion.
Okay, he took offense to every team for that. I know where you're going.
As a 4-time world champion, he took offense to these 21-year-olds in Memphis nonstop talking crazy to him.
I love it.
I mean,
I miss it.
It's very much the type of thing that Kobe would do if the Grizzlies were talking crazy to him.
Yeah.
You know, he'd start holding up hands and talking about rings. At its core, that's all Klay was doing. He was being an older man. None of these people are old in normal people terms.
Yeah.
But in basketball terms, he was being an older man looking at the teenagers saying, hey, you guys ain't done nothing yet. If you want to see my ring sometime, text me. I'll bring them to the arena.
Oh, we know he loves showing those off.
Till then, why don't you relax a little bit? In fairness to Klay, that's what was going on.
That's the one thing I'm excited about tonight is that for once I don't have to look at him doing this the entire game.
Don't rule it out.
Right, that'd be kind of weird, right?
Don't rule it out.
If he hits a dagger in Steph's face and then throws up the 4 rings, wait, what are we doing here?
I don't rule anything out. In all seriousness, I love stuff like this. Like, absolutely love it. Games are just games. We talked about this before, but moments are so much bigger and more memorable, and tonight really should be a special moment for the NBA, for that franchise, for those fans. And yes, I think also for Klay Thompson, it should be all cheers, hugs, ovations, tears. Not all returns go that pleasantly. Like LeBron James once left Cleveland via free agency, and he got booed relentlessly the first time he returned as a member of the Miami Heat. Super ugly. Kevin Durant once left Oklahoma City via free agency, also got booed relentlessly the first time he returned as a member of the Golden State Warriors. Super ugly. But this is not expected to be like that at all, even though Klay Thompson did leave Golden State via free agency, same way LeBron left Cleveland, same way KD left Oklahoma City. There's just too many good memories, too many championships, too many shared accomplishments, too much history for that crowd, I think, to do anything other than give Klay the biggest ovation that building has ever produced. This is going to be sweet, isn't it?
Oh no, I think he'll totally downplay it.
He won't be able to help himself. He'll cry.
I disagree. I think he will act like he doesn't even see the tribute video.
He can't. Even if he wanted to play tough, he can't. He's not capable.
Okay, I disagree. I think you will see little emotion.
I'll bet you a Ghost Toast Kit Kat right now.
All right.
And I should
Those
say,
are hard to find, though. You're not going to be able to get that.
buddy.
It's an exclusive, Halloween exclusive.
What if I told you I got one in the car right now for you?
Do you really?
I just forgot to bring it in.
You went out and got some ghost
No,
toast.
I am not that thoughtful. But my mother is. And she's
the best.
She went out and she saw Ghost Toast Kit Kats, and she got one for you and for me and for her two youngest grandboys.
That's awesome.
So, hey, you're the only non-Parrish who got a Ghost Toast Kit Kat.
I feel special.
Okay, see? I'm the sentimental type.
Yeah.
This is where I get it from.
I'm showing more emotion now than Klay will tonight.
I think Klay will not be able to help himself. I'll bet you a Ghost Toast Kit Kat. He will get emotional. He will cry.
Yeah.
He will cry.
He was there forever. Yeah.
He was there for 13 years. Yeah. It was a nasty breakup where feelings got hurt, but he's going to feel loved tonight. And I don't care how mad you were on the way out the door. I think when you feel that, it's hard not to have it resonate with you. Maybe you're right, because he did leave there on not so great terms. He felt unwanted.
Yes.
We talked about it with Michael Eaves yesterday. He watched Steph get his big contract. He watched Draymond get a big contract. And when it came time to give him the same type of contract, they just did not want to do it. The negotiations were hard. Feelings got hurt. And ultimately, it became clear. I don't know if we knew this as the season was unfolding, but the subsequent reporting, it was clear for weeks leading into July, Klay Thompson was leaving Golden State.
Yep.
He felt like they did not want him anymore. And the reason he felt that way is there was some truth to it. Even Steve Kerr, as recently as this week, said, hey, like, we love Klay. We had some great years here. I do think he made the right decision to leave. It was best for him to leave. It was best for them to not have his money on the books and watch him leave. And evidence of that is, the Warriors are off to an 8-2 start.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're playing good, and they don't have somebody who is clearly a diminished version of himself on a big contract that maybe even just 10 games into it, we would have been saying, oh, no, they should have never, ever put that on the table. We know why they did it. They were paying him for his legacy. But that is not the way to want to run a professional sports franchise, and now they will pay the price. They did the smart thing. But sometimes even doing the right thing can not feel so great. And I assure you the people running that franchise didn't feel so great with the way that thing unfolded. So, yeah, if you were trying to have this moment July 15th, it'd be tough. Feelings would still be fresh. But I think tonight it'll ultimately be a sweet moment for everybody involved. Klay's story is also interesting in the sense that it's a story about how one moment can really change your entire life, like that. And I know this is true in real world terms, right? I mean, a car accident is the most obvious example. Like, you can just be driving to work and it's over, right? It happens every day in this country. Somebody's just driving to work and it's over, all right? So this ain't that. But there is a moment that changed his entire life. It happened on a basketball court. We all watched it. Game 6, 2019 NBA Finals. He was cooking. He ended up with 30 points on 12 shots. He was the best player on the floor that night. And that floor that night had Steph Curry on it, Kawhi Leonard on it, Marc Gasol on it, Draymond Green on it. Multiple future Hall of Famers also on the floor. Klay Thompson, undeniably best player on the court. Goes up for a transition dunk. Golden State's up on the verge of forcing a Game 7. Danny Green, former Grizzly, meets him at the rim. Klay lands awkwardly. Starts to go to the locker room. I went back and watched it yesterday. It's an amazing sports moment. Goes back to the locker room, and then they make it clear, hey, if you do not
come back,
you got to shoot these free throws.
Yep.
And if you don't shoot these free throws, you're out the game. And at that time, they don't know how severe the injury is. So he limps back out, knocks down 2 free throws, and then goes back to the locker room. And as Steve Kerr was talking about it earlier this week in a story I read at The Athletic, Steve said, and when he went back to the locker room, keep in mind at this point, Golden State's up 85-80. We're in the third. And if they win it, we're playing a Game 7. Steve Kerr said that's when they do the ACL test. And Steve continued. He said, I tore my ACL in college. The trainer can tell right away. they just put it up on a table and twist it a certain way, and they know instantly. That is also my experience. I tore my ACL in high school, a baseball tournament out at the University of Memphis, and legendary Memphis trainer Eddie Cantler is the one who initially diagnosed me. It was the exact same thing. I wasn't as tough as Klay, so I couldn't walk off of the field. I was carried off. I really feel like such a wimp when I watch Klay Thompson shoot those free throws, because the way I remembered, I was just screaming. I thought my leg was broken, and I was having to get other people to carry me off of a baseball field. Klay Thompson's just out there knocking down a couple free throws in front of the whole world with the exact same injury. Doesn't speak well of me.
I think ACLs. I think there's levels to it. I'm
gonna insist mine must have been much worse.
Some people tear their ACLs and not athletes, but some people tear their ACLs and just live with it.
You can live with it if you never want to do anything active again.
Yeah.
You can walk around with it. That's the weird thing about an ACL tear, not to turn this into a me story.
Yeah.
But after about 2 weeks after you tear your ACL, you feel like you could do anything. Like I can remember going back to the doctor and being like, I think I can play. And he says, I know you think you can play, but you will, hit a ball, start running out of the box and collapse, and everything will be shredded. You can't play. We have to have the surgery. But you feel that way, right? I'm just going to assume my ACL tear must have been way worse than Klay Thompson's.
Yeah,
like a million.
That's what I'm with you, dude.
Like a million.
Sounded really tragic.
Like a million times worse, because I had to be carried off, but he was tough. He walked off the court. But it was diagnosed as a torn ACL, and he had that surgery, rehabbed, and he was like 29, 30 years old. This is the prime of his career.
Yep.
He rehabs that ACL. And then at the very end of the rehab, he tears his Achilles.
Man.
In a non-sanctioned pickup game in L.A., and he has subsequently acknowledged he did all his rehab away from the Warriors. He wasn't with the Warriors staff. He wasn't with the team. That entire rehab for the ACL was done away from the organization, which in hindsight was a mistake. It got him detached from people and detached from the organization. But beyond that, it wasn't proper. When he was playing pickup in LA, he said he was 10 pounds heavy. And he feels like that played a role in the Achilles snapping. So you do a whole nother rehab for another major injury. He went 941 days in between playing basketball games. 941 days in his prime.
Yeah.
He went 941 days without playing a basketball game and came back and was clearly never the same. And that's what leads to him not getting the contract offer he wants from Golden State and ultimately leaving to be a member of the Dallas Mavericks. If not for that moment, does Golden State win another championship there? Then everybody gets their money? Then they win another championship? So it could be 5 going on 6 right now, and you'd still have Steph, Klay, and Draymond as the centerpiece of it.
Yeah.
Everything changes with that moment.
It really did. I mean, they could have been, without question, the greatest team ever.
Like on the table.
Yeah.
If they win another championship there, does KD ever leave?
Right.
All sorts of stuff. In fairness, it's been hard to hold all of it together.
Yeah.
But you can let your imagination run wild. And nobody understands everything I just explained to you better than the 18,000 people who will be inside the Chase Center tonight. And that's why, though, we've had some ugly reunions over the years when people have left via free agency. There should be no hint of that tonight. Tonight should be a sweet moment. And like you, Bennett, I look forward to watching it. Roy Hibbert up next.
I will take Happy Feet. Give me Happy Feet. Hugh Jackman plays Memphis, the Penguin dad in Happy Feet. I love it. Beautiful message. The tap dancing.
Oh, that was great.
Give me Happy Feet.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The 3 big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
The Memphis Hustle had their home opener last night down in South Haven. Former Memphis Tiger David Jones was in town as a member of Mexico City. Had some interesting comments about Penny Hardaway. I'll share them with you. We'll do that in the next segment. But right now, he was a college All-American at Georgetown, a 2-time NBA All-Star with the Indiana Pacers. Now he's my colleague at CBS Sports Network, and he's also a content creator making videos for YouTube. It's the great Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert, it's GP. How you doing, buddy?
GP, are you with me? I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with you, and thanks for having me on the show.
It's good to see you. I can't wait to be back in studio with you in New York. I was always told this content creation thing, that's a young man's game, and here's basketball retired 37-year-old Roy Hibbert breaking into the game. How did you decide to start creating these types of videos, and have you been surprised at the response? Because they're really catching on.
Well, I appreciate that. So, like, a lot of times when I used to play, since I retired, I watch a lot more YouTube and a lot of, college basketball, NBA, or maybe video games and stuff. So once I saw that and the reach that those, people had, and seeing that, I do a little bit of broadcasting, I'm just like, how can I put the two in that, where I can make it digestible, where I can, talk basketball to get better at broadcasting and get polished, and then also practice and talk about NBA and then expand, do some things that, you can't do in studio or at a game. And I throw some teasers in there, I throw some cutaway gags, some funny stuff throughout in the content. So I'm just trying to find a mix.
I love just the passion. I've been sitting in that studio for a long time now, and almost without exception, the former players who come in have all been great guys. We all get along. But if I'm being honest, not all of them really attack it and tackle it with the same passion they probably had when they were trying to be a professional basketball player. But with you, and I've told this to other people, you worked like crazy to be the best basketball player you could be, became that, retired from that, and now you're actually working like crazy to become the best at this you can be, which is something I genuinely admire.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it out the mud like you guys and just work. I have passion, I have pride in my work, and I feel like being a broadcaster is a lot harder than being on the court actually playing, because you got to remember names. You have a producer in your ear saying, "Hey, come on, let's go." Pete Gillum has to get his point across and everything like that. Like a can of worms. I'm shaking like a can of worms. But no, I enjoy it, and I just wanted to get better at it and just and have fun, but definitely being a broadcaster is a lot harder.
I'm talking to Roy Hibbert, 2-time NBA All-Star, my colleague, CBS Sports Network. So one of your latest videos is on Zach Edey. I mentioned it to the audience earlier. It's about 11 minutes. It's a breakdown of what you're seeing in the NBA offensively, defensively. Roy, as you know, we set a studio, we watched this guy play college basketball. There's no debating he was great, but people did debate whether he would translate to the NBA. We're now, a handful of games into his career. You've broken it down. What are you seeing from Zach Edey?
So one thing before we start, I do regret is I question whether I should put a video. The name of the video was "I Was Wrong About Zach Edey," and I questioned myself putting at the beginning of the video myself watching C Walk actually do an interview where he said that he should be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and I said to myself, "There's no way." But he's been pretty strong in terms of wanting to get better up until that draft. So the crux of my video was that there was so little games that we could watch so I can, make a proper assessment because, during the summer league, he got hurt after, I think 1 game or 1.5 games he was playing. So it's not a large sample size. Didn't play too much in the Olympics and then obviously went back and didn't play that much in the preseason. So I felt like the point of the video was I had gotten to 5 to 6 games in, and I said, all right, this is a small enough sample size where he's played against different people from different heights, speed. Let me see how he's getting his buckets. And he's getting his buckets by having a great relationship with Ja. He gets lobs. Hopefully Ja, stays healthy throughout the year, and that relationship could bloom. But he's also getting it with other players as well. He gets off a lot of dump-off passes, and I really like his progression in terms of offense. But the biggest thing for me was just how is he going to move his feet on defense, and he actually really did surprise me.
I made note of that in the video. You used the term, it looks like Zach Edey already has a, quote, great relationship with Ja Morant. Then you mentioned it looks like he already has a great relationship with Scottie Pippen Jr. How does a big like Zach Edey, like you, create a great relationship with his guards? What has to happen?
It's nothing sexy, but I can honestly tell you, after practice, before practice, doing the same drills with Ja. Like, hey, Ja, he gets up shots maybe before, after practice. You as a rookie big man say, hey, Ja, how can I, get in on what you're doing so you can still get your shot? So they may have a 1-5 pick and roll in the middle. Ja comes down, throws a lob up to Zach, and then he may brush out to the corner for a 3. So he's getting his passing in, and then he's also getting his shot too. So it's a give and take, and then they work on different variations. All right, this lob's not there, I give it a shovel pass. Or this time I snap it back out to an assistant coach, and then he'll hit Zach Edey for a post, and then I'll maybe get out to the wing and then make a dribble move to the paint. So it's just repetition, doing things 20 times in a row, being monotonous, getting a relationship down, going over all the variables and everything like that. So that's why that's how I did it with my teammates.
When you were breaking down the defensive stuff, there's drop coverage, and I think we all assumed he was going to play some drop coverage in the NBA based on foot speed and other aspects. But as you point out, he's switching some stuff too and kind of holding his own in space. Can you expand on that?
Well, so before obviously coming on this on the pod, I just wanted to catch up on the last 4 or 5 games, and a lot of things that I look at when I see him isolated on a LeBron James, I see his mouth moving and I see his hands all right, I'm sending him to I'm being isolated, I'm going to send him to his left hand, or I'm going to make somebody make a pull up. So I'm just watching body language, seeing if he's down in a position ready to go. I have a video coming out on how to guard a pick and roll, and I primarily talk about the guard situation. I use an example of Jordan Poole, and there's 6 feet away from the ball handler, and it's so for me, the fact that he's up is taking away a walk-up 3, and then at the same time, if the guard wants to fight over the screen instead of sitting so far back, it just makes his presence a lot more viable.
Help me understand what the transition is for a big from college to the NBA. When you're at Georgetown plays at your speed. Everything's revolving around you. At Purdue, they play at Zach Edey's speed. Everything's around him. In the NBA, that changes. What do you remember about being a rookie big in the NBA as it pertains strictly to the speed of the game?
So I'll say this. The speed of the game, I think he has it. I had a tough time just learning like the patterns of the game within the game. There's been a couple times Zach has actually had he's had offensive screens, fouls set called on him primarily. I think against a Lakers game and everything like that, and like 2 in a row. And it's just that. Like, you have to maybe slow down and get adjusted. You pick up 2 quick fouls, setting the screen. You're on the bench now in the first quarter. So maybe like the speed of the game, is what people think about. But just the pace of like, all right, now I have to learn each player that I'm playing against who's a lot quicker and faster than the players I played with at Purdue. Just, all right, you know what? This player likes to come off the screen and like he goes off a second. But he leaves a second before the screen is set. So I have to adjust myself so I don't put myself in a position to create a turnover and not pick up a foul. So I've seen a little bit of that. He's had some turnovers, so it's just like you're going to hit the rookie wall a couple of times. And I experienced all of that.
On the offensive end, he's setting screens, he's catching lobs, finishing around the rim. He is also taking threes when they're available. You point out in the video, he doesn't have to take transition threes. He doesn't have to take them from the top of the key. But if you can put him in a corner, and if they're going to leave him alone, just knock that one down consistently where they have to honor it. That is a weapon. Is that something you've seen that appears he can develop?
Man, I love it. Just, I guess the other night against the Wizards, I know he had a little bit of a tussling, getting physical with Valanciunas, but he hit a 3 and like a deep 3, and then Valanciunas didn't even try to contest. He just went to go box out. Like there was nobody like within like 10 feet of him and everything like that. So, and he blew like a kiss, or he has like something that he's doing now. So I feel like he's a viable threat from there. I've seen him hit a couple threes, and to be able to stretch the court is great. Look at, I always think about Brook Lopez when he first started out, in 08 with myself. Sorry about that. He was primarily a low post player, but as he developed, he kept his career long. He got, with the Lakers, he started shooting more threes, and then so he's primarily known as like a stretch 5. When 10, 12 years ago, he was like a back to the basket all-star level player. So the fact that Edey's like mixing that in now, I think that's amazing. And he doesn't need to take more than like 1-3 a game just to, and then improve as he keeps going.
Wrapping up here with Roy Hibbert, a 2-time NBA All-Star with the Pacers, now my colleague, CBS Sports. Last thing before I let you go, not many of us know what it's like to be a successful athlete to your level, get traded or moved on, and then have to come back to that place for whatever you're about to experience. Klay Thompson's going to do that tonight in Golden State as a member of the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. You once, after being a 2-time All-Star with the Pacers, you were traded to the Lakers, and then you end up back in Indianapolis. What do you remember about that experience and the emotions attached to it?
To be honest with you, I was nervous. I had been with Indiana for a while. I remember when I got drafted there, it was like a couple years after the brawl, and they were talking about how they needed players who were like tough on the court, but then off the court, they wanted good people for the community and everything like that. So that was burned into my head as soon as I got drafted. That's what everybody in the front office was saying. So I felt like that's how I carried myself when I played. So it was disheartening to hear when I got traded, and I didn't, and then they were booing me. The Pacer fans were booing me. To be honest with you, that hurt. But like I had to get over it. It's a business. I go back there. People love me now and everything like that. But in the heat of the moment. But I feel like Klay brought championships upon championships for that organization. So I feel like he won't get the whole booing from the crowd point of view. The type of experience that I had. I think that he'll be embraced. I think he'll always be known as a Golden State Warrior, Splash Brothers. But at the same time, as a player, I'm sure he's going to be on that bus. He wants to have a good game. He probably wants to have like, a great first quarter and then just, probably have 30 in the first. So I feel like he'll have nerves, but he's a proven winner, and I feel like he'll just go out there and play. And I think he's a team first guy, but I think in the back of his mind, he probably wants to have a good game.
That is former NBA All-Star Roy Hibbert, and now working in sports media at CBS Sports Network. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, go do that. Incredible content. Roy Hibbert at YouTube. It's Roy Hibbert at YouTube, and he's on X at Roy_meets_world. That's at Roy_meets_world. world. You're the best, buddy. I can't thank you enough for your time. I can't wait to see you in New York.
For sure. One last thing.
Okay.
Next time we got to talk about mallards and ducks, all right?
We got into a conversation on the Eye on College Basketball podcast about a Providence fan bringing a duck to a game last week. And like most conversations on that podcast, it went way off the rails. But I'll get you in a good duck conversation next time for sure.
All right. Thank you, man. Y'all take it easy.
You're the best, brother. That's Roy Hibbert, a former Georgetown legend, NBA All-Star, now in media, CBS Sports Network. He's a Zach Edey fan.
I love it.
He's a Zach Edey fan.
I want, if I want anyone to be a Zach Edey fan, I want it to be a former two-time All-Star center in the NBA.
A 7-foot plus former two-time NBA All-Star center. Like, yeah, if Zach Edey can replicate Roy Hibbert's career,
I think we take it.
We'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll probably take that. When we come back, Memphis Hustle had their regular season home opener last night down at the Landers Center. As chance would have it, David Jones, former Memphis Tiger, was in town as a member of Mexico City. He's got an Achilles injury, so he did not play, but he talked, and he had interesting comments to Jason Munn's commercial appeal. I'll share them with you next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Now every time you go to Miami, you can go see, like, that's a statue of me there.
No, I don't look nothing like that thing, man. Look,
I would have been offended.
Look at that. That is UTA.
Oh, my God.
That is Cody.
Oh, look. Hey, y'all got to get that screenshot, man. Put that on the...
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now I need Bennett to get his beard out of my monitor.
Number one.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that there.
I just looked up and saw your big beard in my monitor.
Scary. That's scary, actually.
It's a good-looking beard. It's a good-looking beard.
Sometimes.
The Memphis Hustle.
Yes.
Had their regular season home opener last night down in South Haven inside the Lander Center. The opponent was Mexico City.
Yes, they're not. Mexico City is not affiliated with any NBA team. They're a standalone G League franchise.
Oh, okay.
Well, because most I got my inside info on the G League. Okay, I know about the G League. All right,
people been. You know what I heard?
People been sleeping on me.
You know what I heard?
Yeah.
I heard you're like the Adam Schefter of the G League.
I wonder if there could be like a career in that.
What if you became the Adam Schefter of the G League? You just constantly breaking news about Matthew Morrell.
Maybe Matthew Morrell. Hey, I wouldn't just go slot him in G League.
Where do you want to put him?
I mean, we might be looking at a standard two-way.
All right, we're getting sidetracked.
Okay.
What I was trying to tell you, didn't want to turn this.
It's one of the best players in the SEC, dude. Right?
Oh, I meant.
You meant someone else.
Yes,
I was like, wait a second. Matthew Morrell might go pro.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Who's our guy with the hustle who played at Duke? Matthew Hurt.
Matthew Hurt. That's right. He came in studio. Yeah,
I was
Matthew
thinking
Hurt.
of Matthew Hurt.
Okay.
That's on me.
It's like, put some respect on Matthew Morrell's name. We might give him a two-way. We might get him a standard contract.
This is why I'm not going to be your G League insider.
That's my job. We're trying to take my job.
I can't even keep my Matthews straight.
Yeah.
I can't even keep my Matthews straight.
I would love to be the Adam Schefter of the G League.
All right,
let me work on it.
Yeah,
okay.
Just work on it.
All
It's good to have dreams. It's good to have dreams. All right, let's start this over. And I'm being serious.
Mexico City was
like,
in
let's start all over. Like, hit story number one again.
All right, hang on. Yeah, here we go.
Number one.
The Memphis Hustle had their home opener last night down in South Haven inside the Lander Center. The opponent was Mexico City. As you know, Bennett, Mexico City, unaffiliated with any NBA franchise. They're standalone G League franchise. I don't have to tell you that, right?
Correct.
David Jones is a member of the Mexico City franchise. He's got an Achilles injury, so he was not available to play last night, but he did talk. And did you see what he said to Jason Munz from the Commercial Appeal?
No, I did not.
Oh, it was interesting.
What did he say?
I'll just read you straight from the story.
Okie dokie.
I'll let Jason Munz speak for himself. While Jones weighed his options between the end of the Tigers' disappointing season and the withdrawal deadline from the NBA draft, his communication with Tigers coach Penny Hardaway was limited. Jones said he expected Hardaway might visit him in person during the offseason. That did not happen. Quote, "Yeah, it bothered me a little bit," Jones said. "I thought he had my back." End quote. Munz continues. Jones eventually phoned Hardaway to tell him he was not returning to Memphis, but they have not spoken since. Jones said he doesn't know whether he and his former coach are on good terms. Not long after Jones turned pro, Hardaway declined to comment on the development. Quote, "Hopefully we are good," Jones said. "I don't know how he feels about me. I haven't spoken to him. I haven't seen him, but I don't got no hard feelings for nobody." End quote. What do you make of that, Bennett?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm surprised because basically all indications led us to believe that they really wanted David Jones to come back. So
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah. And so if you take it for his word there, then that would run contrary to like everything that we were led to believe about him potentially returning to the Tigers. I don't know. I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just saying it seemed like that everything I saw suggested the Tigers really wanted him to come back.
So why not show it in the ways that other college basketball coaches spend their offseason showing it?
I'm questioning if that's. I don't know, man.
I mean,
I find it hard to believe Penny Hardaway just cut off David Jones, his best player the season before. That seems weird.
It should be hard to believe, but I don't know that it is, unless you're saying David Jones is making this up, and he might be. Hopefully, it'll be taken to Penny Hardaway. Hey, we talked to David Jones on Monday night. He said throughout the draft process, he really had no communication with you. He expected you to come see him, but you never did. Your response? Pretty easy.
Yeah.
What you got to say about it?
I would be interested to hear what he says.
Because I can tell you what other college coaches would say. How could your best player be on the fence about staying in the draft or returning to school? You have NIL money set aside for him, but you're not present in pursuing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many college basketball coaches go to the combine that don't have any interest in being at the combine, but they're there just honestly hoping their best player plays poorly, turns an ankle, And so you can always say, I was there for you, but hey, it's time to come back to school, buddy. Here's $1 million. Like, that's the job.
Yeah.
That's why Tony Bennett retired. Because he said, I don't want to do this anymore.
He didn't want to do it, right.
I don't want to fundraise to try to come up with $800,000 to get my best player to withdraw from the NBA draft. That's not the way I want to spend my offseason. So he retired. But if you are a college basketball coach, that is the job. And it is not reflect well of the state of the program when you have a guy who was an All-American level college basketball player who stayed in the draft, even though, you ready for this, he went undrafted.
Right.
It does not reflect well on the program when you've got a guy who could have been an All-American level player for your program. He went undrafted, so he had lots of reasons to come back to school and very few reasons to leave it. And according to him, you weren't an active participant in the recruiting process. Every coach I know talks about, you used to just have to recruit your newcomers. Now you have to recruit your team back. Like, it's a part of the job.
Yes.
You have to recruit your team back to campus. And what we have here is the best player on Memphis' team saying, I was on the fence trying to decide, stay in the draft, come back, and I never really talked to my head coach, and he never came to see me. I thought he would, but he didn't. And yeah, if you're asking, it bothered me a little bit. That's not great.
That's not great, no.
Because just think of the alternative. Hey, I was on the fence, didn't know what to do, but man, my head coach was with me every step of the way. He came to my house, sat down with me, and we reached the conclusion based on all the information we had gathered together that I probably wasn't going to be selected in the draft. And so given that I could come back to school one more year and make NIL money, and my coach was there with me the whole time and made it clear to me how badly he wanted me back, I just decided the best thing for me was come back and be a Tiger one more time.
Yeah, I do hope somebody asks Penny about this because, I mean, again, like we heard like what the money might be that he was going to get to come back to school, and it was significant.
If Tyreek Smith was promised $500,000, what do you think they had set aside for David Jones?
Right, a lot.
But every coach will tell you it's not enough to just put the money on the table. Everybody's throwing money on the table. The relationship stuff can still be a
deal breaker
or determining factor.
Yeah.
And what David Jones is telling you, I didn't have a real relationship with my head coach. You know? That's not great. I'm not trying to pile on.
I don't think you are. I mean, that's why I want to hear what Penny has to say.
I hope Memphis wins 2 more games, goes to Maui, wins that, and they're ranked #1 in the country coming out of Maui. That's my hope. All right? I'm not trying to pile on. But the entire fan base spent months talking about, why did David Jones stay in the draft only to go undrafted when he could have come back to Memphis and made a lot of money to be one of the best college basketball players on one of the best college basketball teams in the country? Why didn't he do that? And Jason Munns more or less asked him last night. And he said, yes, I should be fair. He wanted to be a professional. But he also said that Penny Hardaway was not an active participant in re-recruiting him back to campus, never came and saw him, and yes, it did bother him. That's not good. That's not good. We can leave it there. It's just not,
I got you.
It's not good. It doesn't have to. It's not a fireable offense. But there you go, Memphis fans. There's the answer. If you were wondering why would David Jones be so stupid as to stay in the draft only to go undrafted rather than come back to school and take a lot of money to play for the Tigers, according to David Jones at least, the Memphis head coach didn't really work that hard to try to get him to come back to campus.
Number 2.
Final score, Monday Night Football, Dolphins 23, Rams 15. Did I tell you funny business was on display?
Yeah, I should have recognized it too because like coming in, it was, okay, the Dolphins have lost 3 in a row, but they do got their quarterback, and the Rams have won 3 in a row. So like that's why would the Rams only be favored by 2.5? Like you would think it might be like
and it dropped
6.
down to 2 at kickoff.
Then it dropped down to 2. And so yeah, it was screaming for you to take the Rams, and it looked like they were like it looked. Immediately, you're like, okay, the Dolphins are just better than them. Okay. When they have Tua, I mean, he just gets the ball to all of his weapons. Like that, Tua is great at that.
He made a couple of throws. Like there was one last night. Was it Waddle? Maybe.
Yeah,
that throw.
It was Waddle when he got out of the pocket. Yeah.
Like, no, he can make throws.
Yes.
He can make throws. And Tyreek Hill was, I guess, questionable, but ended up
playing.
playing
and scored. Yep.
But, yeah, that was funny business. It was like, the Rams are at home. The Rams had the better record. You start looking at power rankings, you're going to have the Rams above them.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill's questionable, and the Rams are still only favored by 2.5, 2. Funny business. That was the best example of funny business I've seen in a while.
And I should have noticed it too, because I love fantasy football. Yep. And Matt Stafford's been playing really well, but his projections were super low coming into the week. And I'm like, why though? I mean, I know the Dolphins' defense is pretty good, but like he's at home. It's a primetime game. He's been playing great. Like, why wouldn't I start him in fantasy this week? And I didn't this week because the projection was so low. And I was like, "What, dude? They just like got after him. Like he had no time. They sacked him a bunch. Like they got him.
That's funny business.
Yeah, it was funny business. Yeah.
And listen, I know you didn't spot it on your own. We're gonna get there someday. It's like Eminem said on his last album. I can't explain to you how to spot funny business exactly, but like just hang around me. Just hang around me, see if you can pick it up. This is exactly what M was talking about. Like M can't tell you how to do what he does, but just hang around, see if you can soak it up. Just see if some of it rubs off on you. That's what he said. I'm saying the same thing to you about funny business. I'm like the Eminem of recognizing funny business.
I was on a good run of recognizing it, and now I'm just kind of...
Hey, I'm not mad at you for not seeing it. What I'm proud of you for is not fighting me on it.
Yeah.
There was a day you'd try to fight me on that.
Yeah. No, when you said it, I was like...
There was a day where you'd have been like, GP, you don't even watch the NFL. You don't even know nothing about red zone. You just let me lay my 2.5 points with the Rams. You don't know nothing about red zone. You'd have tried to talk down to me as an NFL superior.
Right.
But now, fast forward to yesterday, you didn't try to talk down to me. No. I said, Bennett, this is funny business, and you said it is.
Yeah.
It was just like that. You agreed quickly.
It's the parody of the league.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I spotted funny, like my dream is to get to a day where you spot your own funny business. I don't have to hold your hand anymore. All right? But in the meantime, I'm here.
Thank you.
I'm here. I'm here to spot funny business for you.
Thank you.
Just see if it rubs off on you. I saw everybody was worried about Tua last night. He threw a pick and then tried to tackle somebody. Everybody's like, oh, what is he doing? I told you, I don't care anymore. Bro, he knows what the score is. He's a grown man. He knows what he's doing.
I'm just like...
I don't care. It's not that I don't care.
Yeah.
In that way, like he has children. I don't want those children to have to grow up and go visit their 47-year-old father in an assisted living facility.
Yeah.
I do care on that level, but I'm not going to like. What is Tua doing? I'm not going to spend my life doing that. He knows what he's doing. He understands the risk. He's told us he gets it.
Yeah.
But he wants to play football. For me, Tua Tagovailoa is no different than the woman I see smoking outside of her office building.
Yeah.
Or the man I see, drinking till 3 a.m. every night. Like everybody knows what they're doing. These are the life choices we make as adults. Tua just happens to be a little more high profile and involves his brain. But like whatever happens to him, just know that he knew what he was doing when he made the decision.
So if I was the Dolphins franchise, I would just be like, and again, he was fine last night, like whatever. But he's just another hit away. Like we know that. We've seen it multiple times.
It's really one hit away.
Yeah. And I would just be like, dude, anything that involves you leading with your helmet, do not do. If it cost us,
I promise you, they've told him that 50 times.
If it cost us a touchdown, fine. Don't do it.
They've told him that 1,000 times. But this is the way.
Because look how good he is when he plays.
But this is the way he plays football.
Yeah.
And those habits can be hard to break.
That's true.
And so he knows that. They've told him that.
Yeah.
They've been telling him that. People on TV have told him that. I don't want to say he can't help it, but he doesn't help it as often as he should.
Right.
So, barring a surprise, we will have that conversation someday. He'll get knocked out again, and we'll be like, it's so scary. And it'll suck. But like, I'm not gonna cry about it. He's made his decision. I feel bad for the dudes who played in the 60s and the 70s and 80s who didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know the risk they were enduring. They didn't know the damage they were causing to their own brains. I feel sick for those people. They didn't know. This guy knows, and he's made this decision. And I'm gonna root for him to stay healthy, but I'm not gonna cry about every scary moment he has.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Denzel Washington.
Oh, how about this?
He said he's got a batch of movies to do. But when he's done with them, he will retire from acting. Denzel's 69. What time do you think you got to retire from acting?
I mean, I don't think you do.
I don't think you do either.
Like we see some of the GOATs go on, until they die.
Like
right?
Robert De Niro.
He's still going.
And he did the
Irishman.
But more recently than that.
What did De Niro do recently?
With Leo.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah.
And he's really good in that.
Really good.
Like he doesn't seem old.
Might be the best character in that movie.
Like you don't watch that movie and go, man, Robert De Niro's old.
No.
I mean, you can see what he looks like, but he doesn't come across as a can't do it anymore actor.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll see that. You go, oh, this guy can't do it anymore. He can still do it.
He definitely can. So yeah, Denzel's. So it's the thing that I sent you. It's kind of a little conflicting. Most of it's the same. It might be 6 movies as opposed to 5. I can't really tell because one publication says that he's going to do a new Spike Lee movie as well, which isn't in that thing that I sent you.
Okay.
So and that's like in production, High and Low is what it's called. But he's out promoting Gladiator 2 right now. Denzel is, which is getting good early reviews, by the way.
You want to hear something?
Huh?
Let me tell you something.
You never saw Gladiator? Really?
I have never seen it. I know all the stupid quotes.
It's been
I know
years.
all the dumb quotes, but I've never seen it.
I really liked it. I have it on Blu-ray.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I do.
Of course.
And I'm excited to see the second one. It's been years since I've seen the first Gladiator. So your friend Joaquin Phoenix is in it.
Never seen it.
He's the villain.
Like I felt sick. I tried to, me and Joaquin.
You can bond with him over that.
We were sitting on the back porch in Clarksdale, Mississippi, me and Joaquin, just sipping a drink. And I was like, yeah, Walk the Line sure was good. He was like, what do you think about Gladiator? I said, buddy, I really did like Walk the Line.
Yeah.
Now, you want to know the truth? I spent an entire weekend with Joaquin Phoenix. We had breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, the whole deal.
Didn't bring up the filmography.
Not once.
No.
Not once.
You can't do that.
Not once.
Did y'all talk about your lives?
He was curious. Like, so what do you do again? And
yeah,
that kind of stuff. We had very normal conversations that never involved me going
there.
Like, so how was Reese Witherspoon? Nothing like that. Yeah. He's an interesting fella.
I would have had to, I would have just had to. In that intimate setting, like
I just couldn't.
When are you going to have that moment?
Other people would. It was like we got there like a Friday afternoon and it was really like 8 people, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
By the time, you get to the wedding and the reception, then it's like 100 people. And so now it's unavoidable. People are trying to take pictures and selfies and whatever. You ready for this? I have no selfie with me and Joaquin Phoenix.
Damn.
I just couldn't do it. I wanted to treat him like I thought it was awesome.
Are you in any wedding pictures with him?
No, he was not in the wedding. His girlfriend was, and I was.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. She was a bridesmaid. You were a groomsman.
I was the best man, and she was the maid of honor. And she was dating Joaquin Phoenix at the time.
You could have gotten a picture.
And I've told you this before. Her son, she had a baby boy.
Yeah.
And the father of her son was Anthony Kiedis.
Wow.
So she had a son with Anthony Kiedis. They split up. She started dating Joaquin Phoenix. And that's how we ended up at this wedding together. But no, I have no picture of me and Joaquin Phoenix. I couldn't do it. I spent the whole weekend with that guy. And I couldn't do it. Interesting fella. This is going to sound like such a name-dropping segment.
I like it.
I also spent time with Denzel.
Oh, you told me that too. Yeah. Where was it?
It was in L.A. He had a son who was a basketball player.
That's right. That's what it was.
And his son was a pretty good basketball player, but probably not as good as he played on a team with Drew Holiday. It was a L.A.-based pump and run team, and it was like Drew Holiday, Reeves Nelson was on that team who went to UCLA. The Ware twins who went to North Carolina were on that team, but Denzel's kid was on that team. And I was out in L.A. for something one night, and it was like it wasn't like after practice, all the parents went to Guadalajara Grill type of thing, which is a very normal baseball thing. But it was something like that. And it was like the parents were just at a TGI Fridays. It wasn't that, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
And just Denzel sitting there,
That's cool. No picture?
No, couldn't. But you ready? Just as cool as you would think.
I like that. That's good to hear.
Just as cool as you would think.
Yeah, man.
Like takes the minute, looks over to you. So you are again? Oh, hey, you're from, and this was part of the interaction. You're from Memphis. Oh, hey, do you know her? There was another woman there from Memphis.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was like, hey, do you know so-and-so? She's from Memphis. And we where are you from? We did that thing. I don't remember, whatever. Just as cool as you would imagine.
That's cool.
Just as, if you'd go, man, if I ever met Denzel Washington and spent, an hour with him, I would hope he would come across this way. He came across exactly that way.
So he's in one of my favorite movies of all time, Remember the Titans. It's my favorite sports movie ever. But he's just been in so many great movies, like obviously Malcolm X, in Training Day.
People like it when he yells. People like it when he gets excited.
Dude,
don't they?
He's great. And it's interesting, like this next batch of movies that he's saying is going to be the last set of movies.
Seems like a lot of timepieces.
So he's clearly a big Shakespeare, and we know that he like loves the stage. Like he did Fences, which was a play that was adapted into a movie. Like we know that he's a fan of the stage, right? But he's like clearly a big Shakespeare guy because he did make Tragedy Macbeth. He's got Othello adaptation and a King Lear adaptation coming up. So 2 more Shakespeare projects. He's got like I said, he's got a new movie with Spike Lee coming out. New movie with Steve McQueen, who did 12 Years a Slave and hasn't done much.
Right.
Like he's done some TV stuff since then, but hasn't really done a lot of feature films since then. And he's going to be in Black Panther 3 too, that Ryan Coogler's doing. So he's, I think that's a pretty good run right there.
Give him a badge and make him a dirty cop one more time.
I know, right?
Let him yell at people a little bit.
Well, it seems like that the Equalizer trilogy was like a big passion project for me. I haven't seen any of those movies. I've heard they're pretty good though.
I got them on Blu-ray.
You've seen the Equalizer movies? You have not. No, I haven't either. I need that. That's a blind spot for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this. When I saw this, I was like, okay, because I think that somewhere in there you're gonna get Oscar nominations. Like these, besides Black Panther 3, that's just gonna be a big like blockbuster movie. Everything else in here, I could see being an Oscar type contending movie, and so that'd be cool to see him do some stuff, get rewarded for it.
Also, recent headline connected to Denzel. You know, you hear all these stories about these Diddy parties, and there's some story about Denzel. Somebody else telling the story there, like we were at this party, Diddy starting to get wild.
Yeah.
And Denzel saw something that he wasn't comfortable with and like told Diddy shut it down.
Really?
Like so there's another example of like this guy really might be who you think he is.
Yeah.
You know? Like he saw something and in that setting.
Thank God.
In that setting, the easier thing to do might be just, hey, keep it moving, ain't none of my business. But he saw something he wasn't comfortable with, and this person, alleged eyewitness, says Denzel put a stop to it. Said, no, this is not cool.
Yeah, good on, man.
What a good fella.
Good on him.
I hope he does whatever he wants to do.
American Gangster, Inside Man, Man on Fire. Dude, he's been in some great movies.
Remember that time we went wild at the hospital? He was trying to get his kid a surgery or something?
That was John Q.
Yeah, man, he was fired up in that one.
That was a good one, too.
He was fired up in that one.
John Q. John Q was good.
There was a time where you didn't want Denzel being fired up at you because that was bad news for you. I like him. I like him. I find him to be an impressive human. I hope he works forever or retires whenever he wants to. I just hope he enjoys happiness. That's what I want for Denzel.
Me too.
All right.
Number 4.
Fran Brown. He's the head coach at Syracuse football.
Okay.
Do you hear what this fella said yesterday?
Syracuse.
He was talking to the media yesterday, normal Monday press conference for a football coach. And they asked him, about any sort of superstitions and stuff. How do you handle wins? How do you handle losses? Here's what he said. He said, honestly, I've got a ritual when we lose. I didn't even get into the shower until early this morning. I just be mad, brush my teeth. It's like I don't deserve soap. I don't deserve to do all that. I'm just focused on trying to get back and try to make sure that our players mentally understand that I let them down. They didn't do it. I just wake up all night, especially when we lose. I wake up like, damn, that really happened that way, and then I just move on. Says he doesn't think he deserves soap after losses, so he doesn't shower. What do you think of this?
Seems a little wild to me.
I think everybody deserves soap at all times.
Well, I don't understand the logic because you would think after a loss that you want to cleanse yourself of the bad energy.
That's what I would want to do.
Right?
Yes.
Like you don't want to leave that loss.
I want to sit in a loss. I might want to sit in a win, but I want to sit in a loss.
No, I want to cleanse and I want to get ready for the next game.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is this guy talking about?
I think he's wrong here. I think he's really off base.
First off, let me be clear. I think you should shower after every competition, win or lose. I think it's important to be clean. Do you ever sleep dirty? You ever just falling asleep dirty? Like it's a cookout. And, it's like we've been going all day. And next thing you know, you wake up. It's 11:47 at night. Everybody in your house is asleep and you're on the couch and you don't really know how it ended.
Yeah. That does happen, yes. And I regret it every time because I'll wake up and I'll have acne, it's, you know what I mean? I feel gross.
I can't sleep if I feel dirty. I cannot sleep if I feel dirty. Period.
I can't either. I can feel because I get my legs get a little restless when I'm trying to sleep at night, and I can feel the dirt rubbing, you know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
I feel it too.
If I feel dirty, I can't stop feeling dirty.
And then I like get in my head and I'm like,
that's the thing, it gets in my head. I can't stop.
Yeah, I'm like, there's like germs getting in the bed and I'm going to get sick.
I
and
feel stuff.
Right,
I start imagining things.
Right.
And I know at that point, you ever know, like, I will not stop thinking about this thing until I do it. So I have to do it now or else I'll just stop thinking about it. Like this might just be in my messed up mind, but all the time this happens to me. Like it'll be like my desk is unorganized.
Mm-hmm.
I need to write this column, but I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about this desk being unorganized until I fix it. So before I write the column, I just got to do this now. Other people wouldn't even notice, but my head just attaches to it. Same thing. If I feel dirty, I can lay there and be like, I am so tired, but I will not stop thinking about being dirty until I take a shower. Mm-hmm. So I have to go do it right then. Do you remember the last thing I do before I go to bed is take a shower? And the first thing I do when I wake up is take a shower.
That's wild.
That's
wild.
I will take a shower, get into bed, sleep, get out of bed, and go right back to the shower.
I don't like that. I don't understand that.
I cannot function. I'm telling you.
I don't get that.
Tonight.
Nothing's happening.
You ready? Tonight at 11 p.m., I can take a shower, get as clean as I could get.
Yeah.
Wake up tomorrow and you say, GP, no shower. You just got to go do your day.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it. I would not. I would feel awful. If you said, or give me $500, I would hand you $500 and say, let me take a shower. I cannot go through this whole day feeling this way. I could not.
Bro, your soap bill must be insane.
I do go through some soap.
Yeah.
I like soap.
I like soap too.
So Fran Brown makes no sense to me at all.
That's weird.
Like Fran Brown that's crazy to me.
I think that's weird, but I think on the flip side, yours is kind of weird
too. I know I'm unusual. I'm not like judging people who don't take 3 showers a day.
Mm-hmm.
But I will take 3 showers a day and feel very comfortable doing
He's
it.
at Cal this weekend. Winnable. They're coming off a loss to Boston College. They'll be underdogs. I don't see a line, but they could win that game.
And this fella Fran Brown, we got to figure out, does he have a wife or a husband or a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Like, does he have somebody he lays down with every night?
Yeah, because after a game, like you're probably really breaking a sweat.
Man, you've been standing out in the sun for 4 hours coaching a football game?
Yeah.
Now you're going to come lay in my bed? No, sir.
Right.
I tell you one thing, Fran Brown would never lay down with me. I tell you what. Wake Forest beat Syracuse 31-17. Fran Brown can sleep on the couch before he gets in the bed with me. I ain't cuddling with that man. Would you cuddle with Fran Brown?
No.
I wouldn't either.
No, I would not.
I would not either.
I would not.
Take a shower, man. Win or lose.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Michael Strahan. Oh, he's in hot water. Michael Strahan's in hot water.
I saw this.
Michael Strahan's in hot water.
Yeah.
Fox NFL Sunday was at a naval base, San Diego.
Right.
I've been there. Not to brag, but I've been there. And they did the national anthem, and you can see the picture. The camera's cut to him, and there's Jimmy. Look at him. Look at him there. You see.
Yeah.
One of these things is not like the other. Mm-hmm. Everybody's got their hands over their heart except for Michael Strahan. Mm-hmm. He decided to use his hands to cover his ding-a-ling during the anthem. Mm-hmm. And now people are upset. They're saying he didn't show proper respect. More worried about covering up his ding-a-ling than he is putting his hand over his heart during the national anthem. Are you offended as an American, as a red-blooded American? I know how much you care about this country.
You know how much I love my country.
I know how much you love your country.
Yeah.
I saw what you did to the Capitol.
Look at that picture.
Does that bother you, Michael Strahan?
No. Dude, this is like just another one of those like manufactured things to get people riled up for literally no reason at all. Like when I saw it, I rolled my eyes. And the thing that justifies how I feel about this and how a lot of people feel about this is I saw multiple veterans and people that do serve still say this is nothing. Like, why is this even a thing? Right.
Because he's not. You know what he's doing there?
Huh?
At worst, you know what he's doing there? Being absent-minded. At worst. Now, if you want to argue we shouldn't be absent-minded on a Navy base.
I mean, dude,
Veterans Day weekend.
I don't put my hand over my heart during the national anthem.
Okay.
I stand just like him.
Me too. But I was at the Naval Academy on Friday night.
Yeah.
And I did have this moment because the way it works, we come on John Sadak, Steve Lapis do the intro to the game. Hey, we're here live at Alumni Hall, campus United States Naval Academy. Mm-hmm. I'm John Sadak, Steve Lapis, Gary Parrish will join us momentarily, right? So then they do their little thing. Looking forward to seeing whatever. Then we go to a break, come back, and because it's the Veterans Classic, and because we're at the Naval Academy, they want to show the national anthem on television.
Yeah, right.
All right, because patriotic, all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So, and then as soon as the national anthem coming, John Sadek's back on the mic, and now we'll go to our third man in our booth. It's Gary Parrish, who's got more on Harvard, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And they come to me. So during the national anthem, I'm getting ready to be live on television to do a 45-second hit. And so I noticed, and I'm sort of just going through my head, the way I do these opening hits is they're all rehearsed. You know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah.
And so I've got it almost like in a wind up as a pitcher. It's and your first move is this. If you're a pitcher, was yeah, John, interesting story connected to Harvard's Robert. The words are coming straight out of my mouth, almost like I'm singing a song. Mm-hmm. And so the national anthem's going on, and I'm just sort of rehearsing in my head. And when I talk, I tend to pace. And I just noticed the national anthem was going on, and I'm sort of pacing around, talking to myself. And I had this moment where I was like, oh, my God, I hope nobody thinks I'm being disrespectful. But I wasn't being disrespectful. I wasn't trying to make a point.
No.
Oh, you think you can elect this man? Now watch me not care about the national anthem. I was just absent-minded, focused on my job. And I bet you if you ask Michael Strahan, he would tell you he was just absent-minded, focused on his job. He wasn't trying to make any point or take any stand
at all.
He just didn't put his hand over his heart. Simple as that.
Yeah, dude, when I'm doing the radio broadcast for the home games and we do the national anthem, right after the national anthem is when Eric comes. We come back from a break. Eric comes on and starts doing the starting lineups and stuff like that. And so I'm I got my headphones on. Right. I'm listening to the program for when we're about to come back and make sure we're still on the air while the national anthem's going on. So if you're working, your mind's kind of
right.
Yeah. But I'm standing at attention. I'm trying my best.
I was standing, but I'm really about to go on TV in 30 seconds. I'm doing a live hit, and I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm just going over it in my head one more time.
Yeah.
One more time. And then I looked up and I was like, I'm pacing during the anthem.
And he's doing that. He's on TV,
right?
It's a non-story.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
I got an idea. How about this? Why don't we get rid of the national anthem at sporting events? Why do we have it?
Ooh, now you're going crazy. Uh-oh. Here comes the new controversy.
I asked that from an honest place.
Forget Strahan.
Why do we do this?
Someone's opening a can of worms.
Why do we do it? Why do we do it? What is the point? Do you know how it originated?
Yeah, how did it originate?
In World War II.
Yeah.
We're in World War II.
I should know this.
As a history major.
Yeah, that's shameful.
We are in a war against the world for the second time.
Yep.
And it became a symbol of patriotism. Hey, let's show our troops we support them before we go out here and play this football game. We'll play our national anthem. All right. That's more or less the root of why the national anthem is played before every sporting event in America. Mm-hmm. So that's why we started doing it. And if you'd have said that to me during World War II, I might have said, so we think playing this song before a football game is going to make our troops feel better? And somebody would say, yeah. And I'd say, okay, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But if you think it's true, it's fine with me. Let's do it. What do I care? But here would be my question now.
Okay.
Why do we still do it? I understand why we started doing it.
Yeah.
Why are we still doing it?
I think I have an answer.
Go ahead.
It's nice.
Why is it nice? I find it disruptive. You ever been wanting to go to the concession stand, but the national anthem's playing? You don't know whether you can walk or not? I find it to be disruptive. You find it nice. Why?
Because it's typically you get someone with a great voice that can sing, and it for some people can give you a feeling of pride.
Sure, I guess. For some people,
there have been moments during a national anthem. I wouldn't say that I got emotional, but I was like, "Wow, this is really nice." I really enjoy this. I feel good.
You feel good?
Yes.
Okay, I can't dispute that. I can't argue with you about what makes you feel good. All right, that's none of my business. I can't argue with you about that.
Now, sometimes they get someone who sucks at it, and then that ruins the moment a little bit. But for the most part, you're getting people that can really sing. And
so we do it before every sporting event in the entire country because sometimes it makes some people feel a source of pride. That's your explanation.
I think it makes more than some people feel a source of pride.
I go to my kid's 5th grade football game, and we have to stand for the national anthem. And then we got to stand for a prayer. We're just standing the whole time.
Someone said we should also do the Pledge of Allegiance at sporting events. Now, that would be fun, too. Let's add the Pledge of Allegiance to the pregame stuff. We'll do the national anthem, then the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm not even joking. I will be at a game on press row, sitting down, looking at my computer, and they'll be, will you please rise? I'm like, son of a. Every time I'm like, God, I should have timed this better. I could have still been in the media room when this was going on.
Very non-patriotic.
I understand why we started doing it. I don't understand why we're still doing it. Remember during COVID? You remember COVID?
I remember it well.
Wasn't that wild?
That was a wild time.
So you remember in New York City during COVID, like at 5 o'clock every day or noon every day or at some time every day, everybody would open their windows and they would like hit pots and pans, just clap and yell.
I don't remember this.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Look it up.
Cringe.
It's a real thing. And you might go, okay, why are you all opening your windows and banging pans and clapping and singing and whatever at the same time every day? And the explanation was it's to show our healthcare workers that we're thinking of them and that we appreciate them.
Oh, I'm sure they loved that.
They actually did, Bennett.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Because it made them feel appreciated.
Well, then there you go.
It made them feel appreciated. Like Klay Thompson should be as lucky, you know?
Right.
So that's the explanation. Why are you banging hey, Mom, why are you banging a pan out the window at 5 o'clock in the middle of COVID with your mask on?
Yeah.
And she'd say, because we're doing this to show the healthcare workers that they mean the world to us, and we haven't forgotten about them, and we appreciate them. Okay, fine. Ready? Here's my point.
Yeah.
What if they were still doing that today, every day? Just banging pans out the windows every day.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound good.
Okay.
That does not please people's eardrums like the national anthem does.
Okay.
Also, what about when you get like a little elementary school of kids singing the national anthem? Like, that's a great moment. That's a cute moment.
Man,
it's nice. It makes you feel good. That's our future.
I'd rather watch them sing Hot to Go. I'd rather watch a bunch of kids sing Hot to Go.
No,
Hottogo.
We're not getting rid of the national anthem, okay? You're not winning that fight.
I don't expect to win it. But I can be the leader in the cause.
Don't attach me to that. Don't attach me to that.
I don't expect to win it. I know I'm not going to carry this football into the end zone, but can I get us to the red zone?
Listen, Michael Strahan, this is wrong what they're doing to him because he didn't do anything wrong. But Bennett Doyle will not participate.
I think
you ain't canceling our national anthem, GP.
I think they should play Hot to Go before every football game.
I mean, I'm fine with adding if you want to add like today's hit, like on top of the national anthem, like we could do like a few lines.
Listen,
that's fine.
At its core, if you want me to make this as simple as I can make it, I'm just tired of standing up. All right, I'm just tired of being told to stand up when I don't want to.
Okay, well, can we? Okay, so if we agree that you don't have to stand up and put your hand over your heart, okay, maybe we can say. Some people can sit down if they want to.
Yeah, they tried that. They banned him from the NFL.
Oh, that's right. Dang it.
Yeah, we tried that already.
Damn it.
We said, we'll peacefully sit down.
See, I'm trying to find compromise here for everybody so everyone can be able to participate in the national anthem and be fine with it.
They kicked my one dude out the NFL.
Oh, my God.
They tried to send my other little soccer player. They told her to leave the country. We've tried that before.
Okay, never mind. Get your ass up. Say you don't have to put your hand over your heart, but you're going to stand up, and we're going to have the national anthem at every sporting event in this country.
You notice they stopped saying, have you noticed this? They don't just say, please rise for the national anthem anymore. They now say,
what do they say?
They say, if you are able, because people who can't rise for the national anthem were getting offended.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. Again, this silliness. That's silly.
Hey,
that's silly.
That's how you lose elections.
That's the silliness that we've been talking about. That's the silliness that we've been talking about. I did not even realize that that's what they say now.
Listen, next time you're in FedEx Forum, they will say, for those who are able, will you please, if you want to, it's up to you. We don't mean to put any pressure on you. I got all these caveats.
Oh, man.
I stand with Michael Strahan.
I do too.
With my hands down here.
I do too.
I stand with Michael Strahan.
That's like how I stand for the national
anthem. With my hands down here.
He did nothing wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't mean anything by it.
No.
Be back with GP's Carryout.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
I will take Happy Feet. Give me Happy Feet. Hugh Jackman plays Memphis, the Penguin Dad in Happy Feet. I love it. Beautiful message. The tap dancing.
Oh, that was great.
Give me Happy Feet.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rate.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio. Nice day outside, isn't it?
It is a nice day outside.
We went through a string of days where it wasn't so nice, but look at that.
Dude, I love this little window. We get it for like less than a month where I don't have to turn on my air or my heat and just let it ride.
It's a nice time of the year.
I love that. Save a little money.
It's the best time of the year.
Yeah.
I like the way it feels outside right now.
Yeah, I wish we could get more of this. I wish we could get like a two, but it lasts for like a couple weeks.
If you want this for like 12 months a year, you just got to move to Southern California.
That's right.
This is what Southern California feels, but like 12 months a year.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It is nice. I loved that weather. It was nice.
I'm looking forward to enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Go for a little stroll.
I'm going to stroll myself.
Okay.
I'm going to stroll a little bit myself. Let's do GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff. But I think the most important thing is we got a real national anthem problem in this country, and now they're trying to bring Michael Strahan down with it. Now they already got Colin Kaepernick. Now they're trying to get Michael Strahan too. Who's next? Who's next?
Not me.
Who's next? Who's next?
They're doing Strahan wrong. This is a manufactured nothing story.
In all seriousness, they like you're exactly right. It is a manufactured nothing story.
Yeah.
But it is a manufactured story that he's having to deal with.
I know.
And like Jay Glazer had to come out and be like, "You guys realize like Michael Strahan's dad was in the army? Like he loves
dumb. It's so dumb.
Like why did Jay Glazer got to come out and tell the world that Michael Strahan loves America?
God,
it just seems crazy. Like whoever thought Michael Strahan was out there just hating his country?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason this guy was on, still is, I guess, morning television.
Yes.
Like he's not just a football guy. He talks to your grandmother every morning.
Yes, he does.
Right? This is the best guy. This is the best guy, and you're mad at him because he didn't put his hand over his heart. Which I don't even know, like, do you have to do that?
I don't think so. No. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
And what about your hat has to come off? We agree with that.
Sure, yeah.
But should it?
It doesn't. That also isn't that big a deal.
But I do take my hat off every time.
Yeah, I mean, I
but
do
should
sometimes.
I have
to? No.
Let's figure out how far you'll take this, Bennett.
I don't think so.
Let's figure out how far you'll take this.
But we're not getting rid of the national anthem. That's staying.
Okay, you're willing to let me... Let's start here. You're willing to let me not put my hand over my heart?
Yes.
Okay, you're willing to allow me to keep my hat on?
Sure.
Okay. Do I have to stand?
Yes, if able.
Okay, but you got Colin Kaepernick on it, so you tell me. I don't want you telling me it's okay not to stand, and then next thing you know, I'm banned from the NFL. Am I okay to sit or not? Can I take a knee? I wouldn't take a knee. I would just sit down and keep looking at Twitter.
I think that's a bridge too far.
I got to stand if able.
I think you got to stand if able, yeah.
Okay. Now for the big.
Mm-hmm.
Bennett, we'll do it for the opening game of the year. We'll do it for the playoffs. But we ain't trying to do this thing 41 nights a year inside FedEx Forum. We all love our country, complicated as it can be. We don't have to prove it 90 seconds at a time before every football game and basketball game and baseball game. Let's be done with this. Can you join me?
No.
Bennett.
It's a bridge too far.
You're the one who has to actually sit in that arena every single game and do that. I can get up and go to the bathroom if I want to.
I enjoy the moment.
I can go like...
You can't.
I can.
They're not going to let you.
I can go... Nobody's going to stop me from going to the bathroom.
No, you're not walking those stairs during the anthem.
I'll time it a little better. I know people who work here in game ops. I'll find out, hey, what time are we doing the anthem tonight? 7:01. Cool. I'll be checking out merchandise in the Grizz Den.
I wonder if they have to stand in the Grizz Den if everybody has to stand at attention.
I think the rule is if you can't see it happening.
You're not in the bowl.
If you're not in the bowl.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. You run around, do flips if you want to.
I think that's
lay down.
probably true.
That's me. I'm going to talk the game ops.
Okay.
Hey, what time's the anthem going off tonight? What time the anthem popping off tonight? 7:03. Cool. I'm going to be laying down out there by the ice cream stand. Hey, that's going to be my protest. I'm not going to be disrespectful to the anthem in the presence of people being respectful to the anthem. Not going to do that. Don't want to do that.
What is it about that ice cream?
It's cold.
That FedEx Forum ice cream is
good.
I mean, I don't think it's unique to FedEx Forum. It's like arena ice cream. There's something different. Yeah, there's something different about it.
You like soft ice cream or hard ice cream?
I like both.
I like both. Yeah. Everybody likes both.
I like different varieties, but man, that soft serve is insane.
Man, I like it soft sometimes.
And I'm not even like the biggest ice cream guy. Like,
not the biggest ice cream guy.
I'm not just like seeking out ice cream all
I
the
don't
time.
need 3 scoops, but I love a bite.
But when I'm here or when I'm at a sporting event and I see that ice cream machine, I'm like, God, that looks great.
Then don't ask me if I want sprinkles.
Oh, I don't like sprinkles. My kid does. I have to be like, they don't have them. I have to lie.
Kids do like sprinkles.
Yeah, they love them. I'm like, it has no flavor. It's just for show. It's nothing.
Because like you wouldn't eat like a jar of sprinkles.
No. Well, my kid would if I'd let him.
Of course, right. But like you wouldn't get nothing out of that.
No.
You wouldn't be like, man, that's the best jar of sprinkles I ever had.
It's just for show.
But then kids
it's like parsley.
But then it's a lot like parsley.
Yeah.
But then kids want sprinkles on everything.
They do.
But it don't really matter.
That's why I have to lie and say they don't have them because I don't want them on my ice cream. So I'm like, nah, bro, they're out.
I think I'm against sprinkles now.
Yeah.
I think you've turned me against sprinkles. Here's going to be my protest. And I want to be clear. I'm not protesting the anthem. Okay? I want to be very clear about this. I don't want to send any mixed messages. I'm not protesting the anthem. And I'm not trying to take a stand against anything other than we shouldn't have to be doing this before every sporting event. That's what I'm protesting.
Okay.
I'm not protesting the anthem. I'm protesting the anthem before every sporting event. And my protest will involve me not being disrespectful to the anthem inside the bowl, but before every Grizz game at 7:02, I will walk to the ice cream machine, purchase a swirl, and lay down and consume it.
Okay.
During the anthem.
Not going with you there. I won't. I will not join you there.
No sprinkles, though.
No sprinkles.
What's today's biggest game?
I'm going to take you out to San Francisco.
Okay.
It's the Chase Center.
Oh, we're going to the Bay?
We're going to the Bay. We got a 9 o'clock tip on TNT.
Okay.
It's the Mavericks and the Warriors. It's Klay Thompson's return to Golden State for the first time as a visitor after spending 13 years as a member of the Golden State franchise and helping them win 4 NBA championships.
This is also the first night of NBA
Cup
it's
group play.
So yeah, so I guess we start tomorrow night.
Group play, man. You know how much I love group play.
Man, okay. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Because I just hate that Ja's out again for this.
Play.
Yes.
He's gonna have a hard time getting into the group play Hall of Fame if he never plays in group play.
Like if you're the league and you want this in-season tournament to become a thing, you need like your biggest superstars to be a part of it. So it sucks he's going to miss it a second year. Okay. Mavericks Warriors. Dude, I don't think this is funny business. I think that like the Warriors are favored and they're good and they're at home. And they want to beat Klay. I know he wants to come out and have a good game.
Who wants
it more?
Klay, clearly. They don't hate Klay as much as Klay hates them for the way they treated him out the door. I think he'll get emotional tonight. He'll acknowledge the nice cheers from the crowd, but he wants
Mavs have lost 2 in a row.
He wants to kill them.
I'm going Warriors.
Bennett said take the Warriors at home.
Yeah.
8-2. It's not funny. I don't think this is funny business.
I don't think so either.
But it's got a lot of characteristics of funny business.
It definitely does. But man, the Warriors are just good. The Mavericks are average right now.
Because let me tell you what every nerd says about this game. You ready? So the Warriors are 8-2. Got Steph. Mavs are 5-5. Lost 2 straight. We're in San Francisco, and the Warriors are only laying 2.5. All right, everybody's on the Warriors. It's got some funny business characteristics, Bennett. I don't think it's straight funny business, but there's some.
Dude,
it's at least its cousins with funny business. It's cousins.
They're 6-1 over their last 7, and the 1 loss is to the best team in the league record-wise, in the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland.
It's a cousin to funny business.
I'm going Warriors.
Bennett said he's going to take the Warriors minus 2.5. The total's 234.5. Tickets. What do you think the get-in price is tonight? Right now, secondary market, you just want 1 ticket, top of the building.
Well, those have got
worst seat in the house.
Those have got to be some of the pricier tickets in the league, right? It's the Warriors. It's in San Francisco where everything's expensive. So I'd say get-in price to sit up top. I'd say you're going to at least have to pay $80 to sit at the top.
What I'm seeing is $212.
Jeez.
Worst ticket in the building, $212. And I'm just looking here, lower level. You cannot get into the lower level for less than $500. Courtside, I mean, it's as high as $3,500.
Yeah, big game.
Big moment.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
Okay, take your bet, set it aside. What would you rather see tonight? You want to see Klay Thompson have a triumphant return to Golden State? He plays well and the Mavericks win? Or you want him to be humiliated, do like one of those 1 of 12s, and then everybody can say, well, this is why they didn't pay you, buddy. No hard feelings, but this is why they let you go.
I want the Warriors to win because their next game is the Grizzlies, and so I don't want the Warriors coming off a letdown at home to the Mavs, and you know what I mean? I feel like maybe they'll let off the gas a little bit if they win tonight.
I root
That's
for people.
Where I stand. Yeah.
I root for people because I'm the sentimental type.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to think of myself. So I root for Klay Thompson to have the night that I know he wants.
I do not root for that.
I root for Klay Thompson. I want Klay Thompson to go to bed tonight saying, I had the night that I wanted to have in my return to Golden State. I smiled a little, cried a little, I played well, and maybe just a little bit, I made them wonder if they made the right decision to let me walk away to Dallas, Texas. I want Klay Thompson tonight thinking that. I root for that. I root for people. It's because it's because I have a good heart, Bennett.
Good.
Yeah.
What are we watching on TV?
So last night, Jon Stewart was on The Daily Show. He's hosting on Mondays. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of reaction to the election, obviously.
Yeah.
But he had a guest on, a guy named Thomas Brennan, who was in the Marines and recognized at some point that funding for military journalism had been cut, and there just wasn't anybody out there telling the stories of the military. And he decided he wanted to try to fix that in his own little way. So this guy goes to Columbia Journalism School after leaving the military, gets a journalism degree, and he starts what is still a relatively small operation called the War Horse, but he is telling real stories about these men and women who go off and fight for our country, and like the bravest of the brave, and about what happens when they come back home and how they're almost forgotten. Like this stuff we've all heard, but then we just in one ear, out the other. Well, this guy had a conversation with Jon Stewart last night. I'm telling you, by the time it was over, like he was in tears and I was about to be in tears. Just real compelling stuff.
Okay.
And in a time where we watch people talk about our country or politics on television, and it just gets nasty and oftentimes just stupid. It just gets stupid and nasty. Like people talking, it just gets stupid and nasty. This is just two adults having a real conversation with substance that felt like it mattered. I know not everybody's going to agree with Jon Stewart's politics. I think regardless of how you voted in the election last week, you could appreciate this conversation these two people had. It was great. It's about 15 minutes long, and you can find it on YouTube. Just type in The Daily Show, Jon Stewart. Thomas J. Brennan is the young man's name who has started the War Horse. So any combination of that's going to pull you right to it. Again, 15 minutes, really compelling television, great conversation. I couldn't encourage you enough to watch it.
What's the best thing we've read?
RJ Anderson over at CBSSports.com has projected all the contracts for the top free agents. How many years? How much money? Obviously, at the top of the list, Yankees free agent Juan Soto. Bidding war expected to go on between the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Giants. What do you think RJ Anderson projected Juan Soto's contract will be? How many years? How much money?
I don't know. What did Shohei just get?
Okay, so Shohei's deal is weird in the sense that it's 10 years, $700 million.
Okay.
$70 million a year.
Yeah.
But $680 million of that $700 million, so all but 20, is deferred for at least a decade.
Okay, so he's not getting that.
He's making Shohei makes $2 million a year right now.
That's wild. Yeah.
He just pushed it all down the line.
Yeah. Okay.
He's making so much money gambling. He said he didn't need it right
now. No,
that's not true.
That's not true. I'll say 5 years.
Oh, no. Let me help you. 12.
Oh, I didn't realize that it goes. I mean, he's been in the league for a minute. I didn't realize it goes this. So he's still young.
Yeah, he's like 26.
Okay. All right. 12 years. 12 years, $500 million.
Close. RJ Anderson projects it'll be 12 years, $600 million. No deferred money. $50 million a year.
Obviously, like if you're the Yankees, you can afford it. That's just, I don't know. I think you do it. Like you come back next season, you got the best bats in the league.
I don't love going 12 years on anybody.
Right.
Like that's just like 12-year contracts are just, I don't love that. But he's so good.
Yeah.
If you told me right now the Mets could lock him up for 12 years, $600 million, given that it's not my money,
yeah,
I'd be thrilled.
And I think you're right there. Like I think if you went and played that same series this upcoming season, I think they could win it, right? Like I didn't come out of that World Series saying the Yankees have no chance against that team.
Well, as long as you got strong pitching and Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton in your lineup, you're going to have a chance.
Yeah,
but obviously they'll be diminished if they don't re-sign with Soto. So yeah, something like that. 12 years, $600 million. Corbin Burns, 7 years, $245. Boy, 7 years, $245. Alex Bregman, 6 years, $162. Among the bigger names, Pete Alonso.
Burns is good.
4 years, $115 million for Alonso. That's the thing. He's not going to get paid the way he thinks he's going to get paid.
Right.
Like he might.
Yeah, he had that big moment. He had those
big moments. He strikes out a lot.
Yeah.
He's already 30. He's sort of a big, like, lumbering guy. Like, how's his body going to hold up? Like, it's possible his best year is behind him.
So you don't think he'll be a Met?
I'm not sure he'll be a Met, and
Yeah.
it might be contingent on what happens with Soto.
Yeah.
I think if you miss on Soto,
Then you almost have to bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for morale, like fan morale.
Yeah.
You can't let the Yankees beat you for Soto and then lose Alonso too.
I think that's true.
Right. So
Yeah.
but you could, if you sign Soto, then I think you can let him walk. I've talked to some people who work in baseball, right? Like I'm not in that clubhouse, but the perception of Alonso is that he's a little bit of a phony. Like, oh yeah, he smiles and says all the right things when the cameras are on, but that's not really who this guy is. There's a little bit of that. If you want to know why would you? The fans love this guy. He's a big home run hitter in New York City. Why would you not have already locked him up? The answer seems to be, like there's a pretty big, I don't want to say actual divide in the Mets clubhouse, but just in terms of demographics, there's a lot of Latino players.
Yeah.
And then there's the Jeff McNeils, Pete Alonsos, and Brandon Nimmo's, and it's not entirely clear how well they all mesh together.
Yeah.
And there's some thought that maybe Alonso is on the worst side of that, and it might be best just to. There's a reason they haven't already locked him up, but he might not get the money that he thinks he wants. Anyway, RJ Anderson's got all the projections out there. You can go find it, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Wednesday. Getting ready for Grizz Lakers.
Oh, I can't wait. Big stretch coming up. Big stretch coming up.
Scottie Pippen Jr. gonna give it to him again.
We got a big stretch coming up. At Lakers, at Warriors, Denver twice at home. 2-2, you'd be ecstatic.
4 straight games against MVPs.
Yeah. I think 2-2, you would be feeling
4 straight
amazing.
games against multi-time MVPs. It's a great stretch coming up.
I believe AD questionable for tomorrow night, too, so it'd be huge if he didn't play for the Lakers.
I think he should rest.
Yeah. Our stars got to rest. Your stars got to rest.
Only fair.
Yep.
It's only fair. I think that's only fair.
Yep.
Chris Vernon joined me in the first hour. Should be fun. Can't wait. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.